Oh, life. You know, I feel as if I need to speak to the world, I guess. And it's about something that's been on my mind for quite a while. As a mentor, as a trainer, as somebody who just has put himself through certain bouts of adversity, or has experienced adversity, and then found different ways of approaching things throughout my tenure as a human being. Whatever. First off, let's approach this whole situation that the world is going through right fucking now. We all are experiencing one thing in particular, or at least that is the idea, that we all are experiencing a pandemic. Now, some of us are going to experience it in an extremely adverse way, whether it be physically, like actually catching the disease and being terminally ill and then dying, or some of us are going to experience it more adverse in a mental way, meaning that we get into this fear, this hysteria of what we think could happen, might happen, should happen, will happen, all that, all the what ifs, other than the practical matter of the it is what it is. Now, we're living in a digital world as well as a physical world, and so and actually also in a mental world as well. In the digital world is only going to give us a construct of things that might be as far as truths, because even when we do research on shit, doesn't necessarily mean that research is all generalized as 100% true. We know that there is nothing in life that is 100% true or 100% false. There is nothing in life that is 100% bad or 100% good. Even in death, there is some good, and even in life, there is some bad. We already experienced that. But things are not black and white. There is a gray area. There is a huge motherfucking gray area. In the words of Samuel Jackson, motherfucking gray area. And within that gray area is where we should be confined as conscious beings. Conscious beings. Meaning that if you go to any side of that extreme, then you are going to experience blindness. What do I mean by blindness? Meaning that if I saw the world as all serene and sunshine and rainbows and candy corn and all that stuff, once I do face something that I see as adverse, I'm not necessarily going to know how to handle it. Why? Because I have not gone through the experience, and I have not put myself through the experience. Vice versa. If I see the world as dreadful and bad and I can't handle it, then I'm going to suffer, and I'm not going to see that rainbow on the other end, because all I see is pain, all I see is suffering, all I see is dread. Now, is that really what the world is? Let's think about people that have faced adverse situations and then come out of those adverse situations, and then have come to be these people that we look as our greatest philosophers, as our greatest leaders, as people that have changed the world. The only way that they were able to was not to be on one particular side. They experienced both sides, and in both sides they found a way to triumph. Why? Because life is a game. Now, I might say that, and some of y'all might disagree as far as life is not a game. Well, what is a game? A game has a specific set of rules, and a game is nothing more than an interaction if you think about it. The more you understand the rules, the more you know how to play the game, and the least likely you are to be defeated by that game in particular. The less you know, the less you have to say that, well, I don't know how to win. Take any game The best players are the ones that participate every day. Every single day, you get up and you play. Life is a game that you have no choice but to participate, fortunately and unfortunately. But when it comes down to it, you're either going to come out as a winner or a loser. But here's the thing about winning and losing. You can win and still lose. And you can lose and still win. I'll give you an example. Take for matters of, let's say you got a father and a son. Father is teaching the son how to play basketball, right? Father is teaching the son how to play basketball. And then in that teaching, the father will dribble, shoot, do all that stuff, but never teach the son truly how to win. So the father is winning, but losing because he does not have a worthy opponent, right? And so without a worthy opponent, then the game becomes too easy. What's a game worth playing if it's too easy? What's a game worth playing if you know all the rules, but you're not willing to give up the rules to someone else so that the game can be a fair game? So think about the things that we go through in life and things that we keep from others so that we have a one-up on them. That is illusion and manipulation. And then think about when you have two people that have the same skill set, the same amount of what is word that I'm looking for, the same amount of energy that they can put in. They match each other. Now there won't be a forfeit. There won't be a sense of a tie. Somebody has to win, so to speak. But in winning, the thing about winning is when you've allowed yourself to be not just the loser, but also the winner. Meaning you are the teacher, you teach somebody how to play the game, and then you also are the student. You learn the game as well. We all start off as students. We start off as followers. And then from there, we model a teacher. By modeling that teacher, we start to understand the rules of the game. Without understanding the rules of the game, you won't know how to play it. Life can be extremely simple. We just have a tendency of making it complex. And the more manipulative we are, the more we create an illusion for people to make them believe, that life is not that simple. Life is extremely simple. Let's break down the necessities. The necessities are, in order to sustain what we value as living, we have to be able to nourish ourselves. We have to be able, meaning that food and water are extremely important. Those are the most important things. Whether it be plant-based or animal-based, doesn't matter as long as you are getting the proper nutrients to continue to move. Movement is the other part of it. You need to move. Secondly, in order to survive, you need protection, shelter. That is protection. You need to be able to get out of the way of obstacles that might be in front of you. That is life in itself, is overcoming obstacles. Ryan Holiday has a book out, The Obstacle is the Way. That is the fucking truth, straight up. The obstacle is the way. That is a very stoic way of seeing things. And in a way, I really admire stoicism. But that's not the only thing that I admire. I admire Taoism. I admire Christianity. I admire Islam. A lot of these teachings tell us the same shit. Is you will face something that you are not certain of. You will face uncertainty. Out of that uncertainty, guess what? You have the opportunity to succumb to that uncertainty, meaning you become a slave to it, or you find a way to understand it so that you can maneuver and move with it or around it or through it, meaning you master it. Life is about mastery. Because even the little skills that we have in doing things, someone improves on doing. The reason why humans can survive much longer than we did in the past is because we found a way to continue to master our living, to master the game. And each time that we are faced as a whole with adversity, just like viruses find a way to adapt so that they can continue to thrive. Now, are humans a virus? We could be. I mean, think about how viruses are. Find a way to multiply. They adapt to their environment. They live off of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Yeah, doesn't sound like we're a virus? Well, every single virus is trying to thrive and to evolve and to grow. But the thing is, you want to make sure that you have a sustainable resource in order to grow from. You have to find a host in order to grow from. Our Earth technically is our host, right? And the last thing that we want to do is kill off the host, because then what happens? Then we die. Duh, that's how it works. And so it's about that gray area, that balance. We go too far on one side, guess what? Death. We go too far on the other side, guess what? Death. And death is nothing more than blindness. It's the not knowing. The uncertainty comes from not knowing. But the other thing about death is always happening. Even with the words that you just heard, see, you no longer hear them. So that's death. It's a different perspective of seeing things. And so with my rant, what I'm saying is the easiest way to enjoy this game is to understand it. And in order to understand it, you have to, one, observe, but not just observe, because if you just observe and then you're just kind of contemplating the scenarios that might go on in your head, then you're not actually going to really experience. And that is the most important part, is experiencing. Observe and experience. You want to know why? Because without being able to experience your observations, you won't be able to truly tell yourself, and true is the part, is what is true in reality. And the thing is about truth is, as I said earlier, truth is not absolute. We have so many different truths. That's why we have so many differences. But within those differences, you have a different perspective of reality. Because as I once told somebody very close to me, if God wanted things to be so predictable, there wouldn't be so many different perspectives as to what is good and what is evil, as what is true and what is false. There would just be that particular way. And then you would be told what that way is, and you would follow that way. Now, as a creator, I think that is a very boring way of seeing things. I'd rather say, hey, here's the tools, figure it out, show me what you got, little mama. Show me what you got, pretty lady. Show me what you got, shorty. Show me what you got, and wave. That's enough of my rant for now. To be continued. I will teach you more. Why? Because I love life. I love the experiences. I love the pain that I've gone through in my life. I've learned to love shit. That's one of the reasons why I have a hat that says embrace all. Why? Because it's important in order for growth. Is to be able to embrace the things that you're given. Not just try to run away from or shy away from them, but to embrace the things that you're given, because obviously they're there for a reason. We make order out of chaos. The world is chaotic. Uncertainty is chaotic. But we can create order out of it. Make something out of nothing. Because before this, those that pity death should also pity the unborn. I'm gonna leave it at that. Those that pity death should also pity the unborn. That's not my quote. I'm just saying. But if you think about it, think about it. All right. Till then, I love you all, as well as myself.